There are two utilities that are related to the network manager. First of them is NMCLI, which is a command line interface. I'm just typing NMCLI to give you an overview of everything that the command can do. Now the NMCLI utilities works with objects which are like subcommands. It's more or less like the IP command that also works with objects. The most important object that is used with NMCLI is the connection. In order to use the utilities with Network Manager, it's very essential that you understand what a connection is. So by default we have network interfaces. Network interface is just an interface with some configuration associated with it. Now connection is an express layer on the top of network interface. The idea is every network interface has a default connection with which you can easily add a distant connection. With the Network Manager utilities, you can switch between connection. So let me show you quickly how the Network Manager command line interface works. So what I'm going to do is, the command I'm going to type is NMCLI connection show. Please do remember, you always need these objects working with NMCLI. So we can see we have a connection name with ENS33, UUID type specification, and ADN, the device that's in that connection. Now I'm already in the network scripts directory, and if we do an ls there, you can see that there is the IFCFG-ENS33. Now let me use the command to add new connection. It's not an easy command to add new connection. And also the documentation in man page is incorrect, so look carefully what I'm doing. NMCLI con, which is short form for connection, and then we need the con name to specify the thing that's coming out is the connection name. So let's use the connection name testing. If name ENS33. It's very important that you define the interfaces that are within a connection. Type Ethernet, IP4, and then I'm going to type the IP address, and the IP address here is 10.0.0.15/24, for example. You can see that the connection has been successfully added. Now when I type NMCLI connection show, we can see that there are two connections available, and when I type LSA network script, you can see that a separate script has been created for the connection I have just added. Now it's relatively easy to switch between connection. Also NMCLI con down ENS33, for example, is going to bring down the default connection. So let's use NMCLI down con down ENS33 to bring down the connection. Please notice that you meet the name of the connection that is shown with NMCLI connection show. So ENS33 is what you need here. And then I'm going to do NMCLI con up testing to activate the connection. And if I do IP ADDR show, now to see the real configuration that's used at this moment, we can see that 10.0.0.15 is the IP address. Now let's go to the IFCFG testing configuration script. It's just a configuration that's in use right now with the on boot, which equals to yes. If we do same for EMS33, we can see that it's more or less similar. You can also see that there are some little differences. There is a little difference between the configuration scripts, which you can put manually. So basically, NMCLI command is an interface that allows you to put the configuration in your configuration files. And this is how it works. Now, if you don't like NMCLI, which I can imagine, there are other utilities as well. What are those other utilities? It's the NMTUI command, the NM text, the Network Manager Text User Interface. And as you can see that NMTUI is also a connection oriented utility. So let's do edit and connection, and you can see the connections that are existing on this system. There is a testing connection, there is the EMS connection, and if you edit on one of the connections, it tells you the profile name, which is the connection name, by the way, and then we have the device name, and then we have the IP configuration that is associated with it. So I didn't put a gateway using NMCLI. You can do that with NMCLI, but that makes the command even longer. So I'm not sure this is what you want to do. So let's put in the gateway. So the gateway is 10.0.0.1 and DNS servers and whatever configuration you want to put in. You can put it here, and if you are happy with it, just click OK. And then we have the other connection as well. You can manage all the connections in whatever you want it to be managed. So let's do an OK now, and let's quit from this NMTUI. And up to now I have managed connections only. These connections are managed by Network Manager. So let's do systemctl restart Network Manager. Now let's check the status of Network Manager as well. And you can see that Network Manager service is active right now, and you can see that it's working on the ENS33 device. So it looks good, but it really doesn't give me connection information. So when I do IPA right now by using the IP command, you can see what happens, and that is that all the connections are active. So if you don't want your testing connection to come at the moment you restart Network Manager, you should make sure that the connection is disabled via NMCLI or NMTUI and not set to automatic. And this is how you manage network connections. Thank you.